So for yin tonight, you can have any props that you want handy. You might want your pillow, maybe some blocks handy, but if you don't need props, you don't need them. We'll start off in a seated meditation for 5 minutes. And with this, I want you to just choose one hand to place on your belly. The other one can rest to your side, or you can place both hands on your belly. And here, sitting up nice and tall, I want you to focus on taking the fullest inhale you can, feeling the belly push into the hand, and then try to match your exhale and feel the belly lower. So that's all you have to do for the next 5 minutes is just feel your belly rise as the inhale happens and feel it lower as it exhales. And if you want, you can always keep a mantra with you as you inhale, imagining that you're saying, I am. And then as you exhale, here, now. Thirty more seconds left. Take the fullest inhale you have yet. And then with control, mindfully exhale. And then bring your legs wide. Set your hands behind you so you can lift and shift and tilt the hips forward. The sit bones are rooted down. The heels are planted. The toes are up. And you can decide how wide you want your legs. They can be as wide as they need to be. You'll come into a forward fold here. And some of us may feel like having a prop handy is really nice. So you can stack bolsters or pillows or even give yourself an incline. So find where you need to be. You'll be here for 5 minutes, and your job here is to fold forward, keeping a nice straight spine, but keeping the heels planted and toes up, okay? And then from here, you can keep the belly breath if you would like, but while you're in this forward fold, as you inhale, count to 5, and as you exhale, count to 5, and try to stick with this for the next 5 minutes. So when you're ready, once you're rooted and grounded in the legs and the torso, reach your arms up high to the sky. And then when you're ready, nice straight spine, slowly start folding forward. Finding that sweet spot for you. And then once you're comfortable, really focus on counting your inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway through, see if you can create a little length, reaching the crown of the head forward, and sticking with the 5 count breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 30 seconds here. Finish your cycle of breath. Use your next inhale to come up slowly, knowing that you're using a 5-count breath to get there. Slowly exhale. Staying up nice and tall and wide, you'll rotate over and fold over the right leg. So if you want, you can always have a strap handy. Keep the 5-count breath because we'll be here for 5 minutes. So come up nice and tall in the middle. Rotate the torso so you keep length in the spine. And then slowly start folding over your right leg. Some of us, our hands will touch our feet. Others of us, our hands will be down to the side. And if you're using a strap, you're gently gripping, keeping the left heel planted, left toes up. Keep the right heel planted, right toes up. Reach the crown of the head towards the right foot. And then fold. Settling back into your breath. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more minute here. Finish your cycle of breath. Use your inhale to slowly bring yourself up. Coming up nice and tall. Sit up nice and tall. Make any adjustments you need because you'll go over to your left side. So get your left leg ready. Make sure you're nice and tall up through the center. Reach your arms up high to the sky and then rotate looking over the left leg and then slowly folding forward, placing the hands on both sides of the legs, maybe with blocks or with straps. Create beautiful length here and then slowly start folding deeply. Keep the right heel planted, right toes up. And return back to your 5 count breath. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway there. Keep the heels rooted, the toes pointing up. Make sure you're not bringing the shoulders up to the ears. Keeping the length in your spine. And the breath. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly finish your cycles of breath, using your inhale to bring yourself up slowly and gently. And then bring your legs into a fire log pose. So stack the left leg on the bottom and the right leg on the top, and allow the right foot to hang over the left knee. And be certain that you can keep the knee or the feet flexed. And if you want, you can adjust the distance your shins are from your pelvis. If you need to place a blanket or a block underneath your knees, be welcome to that. Come up nice and tall. Bring your arms up overhead. Bend your left elbow and then bring your right elbow into your left elbow so you have a figure four pose. And you can slide your right elbow as far into the left elbow crease as you want, or you can bring your right wrist into the crease. So maybe play around to see where you need. You'll be here for 5 minutes. And while you're here, I want you to focus to have a nice long spine. Try to keep the shoulders down and away from the ears. Take advantage of opening up the rhomboids in the back of the shoulder, in the upper back here, because you get a little bit of internal rotation going with the right shoulder, and then you'll have a little bit of elevation going in the left shoulder. So be gentle and be careful. Allow your breath here to be in a natural rhythm for the next 5 minutes, but if you want, you can keep the 5 count breath. Stay with it, stay strong. Last minute here. Take your last final cycle of breath. Let your exhale slowly release the arms down to the side. Fingertips touch the mat. Sit up nice and tall. Take a cycle of breath. And switch sides. So, the right leg will be on the bottom. The left leg will be on top. Bolster anything that you need, but be mindful that the feet are flexed. The left ankle is slightly over the right. Bring your arms out to a T. Bend your right elbow. Fingertips come up tall, and then make any adjustments that you need to settle in with your left elbow and your right crook elbow. Knowing that you'll be here for the next 5 minutes. Last minute here. Stay with me, you're doing great. When your next exhale happens, slowly release your arms down, fingertips touch the mat. Sit up nice and tall. Extend one leg long and then the other. You'll come into your seated forward fold or your caterpillar pose. So you can have a strap around the bottoms of the feet. Or if you want a little more restoration, stacking some pillows onto your thighs. So come up nice and tall, and that might mean moving any love that you have behind you so your sit bones are rooted down to the ground. Reach your arms up nice and high to the sky. And then when your exhale happens, slowly fold forward. And while you're in your caterpillar pose or seated forward fold, return back to the 5-count breath. So as you inhale, counting for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 2 minutes left here. So see if you can lean in a little longer, fold a little deeper, stick with your 5-count breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finish your cycle of breath. Use your inhale to slowly bring yourself up. And then gently make your way onto your stomach. So now you're prone or face down onto the mat. Bringing the whole body long. And as you're getting adjusted, place the hips evenly on the mat. So you might have to roll from side to side. Have your elbows underneath your shoulders. The tops of the feet are flat. Maybe they're out about hips distance apart. Cool. All right, from here, make an X with the right arm on top and use that to push yourself up. And you may want to adjust by walking your elbows a little bit closer to the mat, pushing up, or having them closer to underneath your shoulders and pushing yourself up. And we'll be here in this Sphinx pose for the next 3 minutes. So really focus on pushing down through the elbows and up. Crown of the head is reaching up. Shoulder blades are sliding down and away from the ears. And the glutes are relaxed. And let's take advantage with the stomach touching the mat. So return back to the belly breath that you had in the beginning of your practice. So when you inhale, pushing the belly into the mat. And as you exhale, feel the belly fall. And see if you can stick with that for the next 3 minutes. A little over a minute left, so make sure you're not collapsing into your shoulders, that you're still pushing yourself up nice and tall. See if you can keep the glutes relaxed to be gentle on the low back. Slowly finish up your cycle of breath. Bring your forearms long in front of you, and then push yourself back into a child's pose. We'll stay here as a transition, but maintain your belly breath here. When your next inhale happens, slowly bring yourself forward again onto the mat so you're nice and prone. And then Stack your hands in front of your face and slowly bring your right knee to hip height and then turn your right foot out for a half frog pose. And you can always place a blanket underneath your right knee if you need to. If you want, you can always have a pillow to prop the head. But you'll be in this nice half frog pose for the next 5 breaths, or 5 minutes. So maintain the belly breath here. Take advantage of this connection with the belly on the mat. And I'll let you know when we're about halfway through. Halfway through. A nice little check here. Is your right foot still flexed? Be careful that you're not leaning too far onto your left side. And can you feel your belly move as you breathe? Last few cycles of breath here, but we're not going to rush it. In your own way, slowly bring the right leg long behind you. Have the legs about hips distance apart. Place the elbows underneath the shoulders and allow your inhale to rise you up. This time, make an X with your arm with the left hand on top. Pushing up into your Sphinx pose. Rotate anything you need so you feel balance between the left and the right. Keep the shoulders dropping down and away from the ears. Use the forearms to press into the mat. Using your belly breath for the next 3 minutes. Take your last final cycle of breath here. Don't rush it. Bring the forearms back onto the mat and sit back into child's pose. For a few cycles of breath, using it as a transition. Keep with the belly breath. And then as your next inhale happens, slowly bring yourself forward. Finding some balance between the left and the right. Stack your hands in front of your face and then slowly bring the left knee to hip height and turn the left foot out so you make this nice L shape with the legs. Make sure that you're not dumping onto your right side, that you have this nice balance, keeping with the belly breath in your half frog pose for the next 5 minutes. Two more minutes left. Take your last cycle of breath here. And then slowly and carefully bring your hands underneath your shoulders as you extend your leg long behind you. Push yourself up into tabletop and then downward dog. Stay in downward dog for a few cycles of breath. Rooting the hands and the feet down, pushing the body away from the mat. Hips are coming high to the sky. And then gently step the left foot to the outside of the left hand, and then the right foot to the outside of the right hand, and come into your goddess squat or garland pose. So you can have a blanket underneath the heels if you would like. Hands are going to come into prayer. Return back to the 5 count breath, and we'll be here for the next 2 minutes. Be sure that you're dropping the hips, the crown, the head is coming high, the heart is pushing forward. Soften anywhere that you're holding tension. Slowly release the bum onto the mat. Bring the bottoms of the feet together like a book. You'll be in a butterfly pose. So if you want, you can always use your strap, bring it around your waist, and have it come around the bottoms of the feet to keep the feet together. If you want to be easy on the knees, you can always place blocks underneath the knees. And you'll come into a reclined butterfly pose. So you may want to have a pillow or a bolster behind your low back. Come up nice and tall here. Just enjoy this gentle hip opening. And then when your exhale happens, slowly start reclining back. And then place one hand on your belly, maybe one hand on your heart, and return back to the belly breath. And you'll be here for the next 5 minutes. So all you need to focus on is having the gentle heart opening, inhaling into the belly, and slowly exhaling. you slowly finish whatever cycle of breath you're on, place your hands on the outside of your thighs and bring your feet flat and knees up. If you're on a bolster, maybe you roll yourself off and come into your final pose of Shavasana. So prep yourself to come long onto the mat. You can keep any of the breath paces that you set in your practice, or you can allow your breath to fall into a natural rhythm, and I will call you back. Okay, yogis, you can stay in your Shavasana pose if you would like. But if you want to end with me, give yourself a full body stretch, reaching your arms overhead and slowly coming over onto your right side. Staying here for a few cycles of breath, take a nice full inhale in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let your next inhale slowly bring yourself up into a seated pose. Placing your hands onto your thighs or your knees, sitting up nice and tall. Taking some mindful inhales in through the nose and exhales out through the nose. Reach your arms up overhead on your next inhale. Bring them together in prayer and pull them down through heart center with the thumbs resting on the sternum and giving yourself a soft bow. Take these next few cycles of breath with your soft bow, just thanking yourself for being present in your practice, for taking this time for self-healing, for creating and cultivating some self-awareness. I thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. The light and love in me acknowledges and honors the light and love in you. Namaste.